So as the universe begins to reveal to us repeating number patterns in our life, everywhere, almost like the numbers are stalking us sometimes, we can be left thinking, what on earth is the universe doing, number one? And two, what do all of these numbers mean? And today, I'm going to go a little bit more deeply into that, but also more poignantly, how we can use these numbers to really change our life. Yes, internally, but also externally. This is the law of attraction at work, and once we know how to use that to our benefit, our life can change. I'm living proof of that. So many other people are living proof of that. So let's get into it. So we call these repeating number patterns angel numbers, we call them synchronicities, we call them numerology. Now it's not necessarily like the angels are talking to you, because we have to be honest with ourselves, we don't know that to be true. Now that might take the fun out of it a little bit for people. Oh gosh, well I thought it was angels. Now I'm not saying angels aren't real, they perfectly could be. And of course sometimes we get little guidance bits in our mind, little tidbits of clues, little good feelings, and it can feel like we're being protected and being guided by the universe, guides, you know, things like this. But fundamentally we don't fully know this to be true. So let's take the belief side out of it, because I've always known in my life that beliefs are dangerous. If I believe something to be true, then I've given all of my power away, haven't I, to a belief, to an ideology. And we know that beliefs start wars, or people standing up for their beliefs, and people are sometimes willing to die for their beliefs, aren't they? So we know that beliefs can be, in the wrong hands, dangerous. So there's a deeper understanding, isn't there, of numerology, of angel numbers, of synchronicities, where beliefs aren't necessary. You don't need to believe this stuff for it to be true, do you? Because it's happening. It's like I used this example with a client earlier. It's like, I don't need to believe this morning that I tied my shoes. I just know I tied my shoes, you know? There's a fundamental, deeper understanding beyond belief, and then nobody can argue with you, can they? Nobody can say to you, no, you didn't tie your shoes, I don't believe that you tied your shoes, I don't believe in your tie shoeing ability, it doesn't matter, I don't need your belief, I tied my shoes are on, you know? It's not even a question. So then, knowing that it's the law of attraction, it's like, let's give this example. You know when you buy a new car and you have your focus, you haven't had your focus on this type of car before much, but as soon as you buy the new car, every time you're in the car, your focus is on this car, this nice car that you've just bought. And then don't you start seeing that car everywhere, like it's insane, like your attention is drawn to it for some reason. Why is that? Well, it's law of attraction. Now, if we can see law of attraction working in our life, meaning what you put your focus on, you get more of. So when you put your focus on this new car that you've got, you see more of it, right? It's kind of the same with the numbers, if we take it from the cynic's point of view, you know. It's kind of the same with the numbers. So, no belief is needed, is it? We put our attention on these numbers, somehow they grabbed our attention, and now we see more of them. Now we can Google, like I've done, and I've driven myself crazy doing, you can Google, what does this number mean, what does that number mean, blah 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 blah. And the information is quite mismatchy, isn't it? It's not concrete, we don't know really what each number means. But that doesn't detract from the fact that messages are still coming through. Now let's take this standpoint, because this is true of this existence anyway, that there is no inherent meaning in any of this, in any sign or symbol that appears to us. There's no inherent, life hasn't given it an inherent meaning. It's just the meaning that we give to it, like the numbers. Oh, it's the angels talking to me. And it may well be, and I'm not discounting anybody's experience, because that feels nice. There's a nice feeling to it, and it feels like perhaps that's true. But we don't need beliefs in it to be able to respond to these things, do we? What do I mean by that? Well, if we know that the law of attraction can be used to our benefit just by putting our focus on this new car that we've bought. Then we see more of that new car. If we put our focus on these numbers, then we see more of those numbers. They guide us everywhere. So we know the law of attraction is working by what we put our focus on. So then we can harness that energy. We know that the law of attraction can be used in our favor. It's just, what are we focusing on? Now we can focus on the numbers, and if it's 666, we might respond negatively. The devil's number, I don't like it. And in that response, we then see more of the things that we don't like. Do you see? Focus on the numbers brings more numbers. Focus on what we don't like, because we've seen a number that in our culture is seen as negative perhaps, brings us more of what we don't like. The law of attraction is always working. It's always fair, and we see it working in our life. It's like gravity. We can't see gravity, can we? But we know it exists because our bodies respond to gravity. Just take a test, jump off a building, see what happens. Don't really do that, because we all know what happens. We don't need to see it to believe it. We know the effects of it. It's the same with the law of attraction. We don't need to see it to believe it, because we can't see the law of attraction, but we see the way that it works in our lives. If we put our focus on the numbers, we see more of those numbers. If we put our focus on anything, we see more of that thing that we put our focus on. It's our way of communicating with the universe and saying, I'm focused on this because I want more of this. So then we can use the numbers and the law of attraction to bring more focus into our life, yes, but to bring more of what we want into this life experience for ourselves. I've managed to create a business out of this, and I'm richer than I've ever been, both in my feeling experience of life, but also monetarily. It's really the law of vibration anyway. It's not even the law of attraction. It's how good can we make ourselves feel. So if we respond to things negatively, let's say we see 666 and we respond negatively, how does that make us feel? Well, it makes us feel fearful and panicful and not good, and that means our vibration's just gone. And then we attract from that vibrational set point, meaning we attract then more negative crap. And we hold ourselves in this perpetual plateaued level keel standing point where we don't really attract more of what we want, because we're not using the law of attraction to our advantage. We are using it though, nonetheless. We are still using the law of attraction. But because we're responding negatively to the numbers and creating a negative state of being and then decreasing our vibration, we attract from that standpoint of our decreased vibration. It can be hard to hear, difficult, right? But then there's the positive aspect of this, is that you're in control. So how do we increase our vibration? How do we use the numbers to do that? Well, every time a number comes in, it doesn't really matter what the meaning of it is. You can ascribe any meaning you like to it. Now, there are certain meanings to each number, and numerology tells us this. But what if the whole of numerology was just created with these meanings imprinted in it, so that we just respond positively that way to that specific number? Then we begin to respond positively in different ways to different numbers, don't we? And then all aspects of our life begin to improve, because we're, one, responding positively, which creates a nice feeling inside of ourselves. Two, that then increases our vibration, and we then begin attracting from that vibrational set point, because it becomes our natural pitch normally, because we're constantly happy. Oh, that number, thank you so much for this number. Oh, this number means, oh, my life is going so well, thank you. And when we keep responding with this appreciation, with this joy inside, naturally our life begins to change. That's the law of attraction, because we're attracting from our vibrational set point. Law of vibration, really. We're attracting from our vibration. Now we can make this even bigger. Vibration just means good feeling state or bad feeling state, of being. So how can we increase? We can use the numbers, yes, but we can also use yoga. Yoga and sadhana, meaning the daily spiritual practices to bring about the highest aliveness and highest intensity of energy in the system, is one way to also increase. It's almost like a double whammy, using the numbers and responding positively, but also staying consistent to my daily practice. And if you don't have a daily practice, then down below you can use the one that's changed my life so completely and utterly. And I'm so grateful for my teacher for introducing it to me. Thank you so much, Steve Harrison, you beautiful, beautiful man. And if you want the practices that have changed my life and changed the life of other people, so many people in this existence are changing their life because of this, then you can sign up down below for the Awakening coaching. It's free to apply. The coaching isn't free, but it's surprisingly affordable, you know. Of course, if you don't have any budget to invest in yourself, then there's a free option there. You know, I always create a free option. My passion is your transformation, you know, and I don't need your money to do that. It's just my passion, so I do it for free on these videos. So you don't need to feel left out if you can't come in for the Awakening coaching. Yes, it's more personal, and we can really do some deep work inside of you with the one-to-one coaching. This is a little bit more general, right? But it still works. So, as well, if you're going through an awakening experience, you're more than welcome to sign up for the Facebook group. It's great, there's amazing people in there. I love you all, you're all fantastic, and thanks for being there and making this experience so wonderful. So it's about how we respond. Remember, there is no inherent meaning to any sign, any signal that the universe gives to us. We can put meaning to it. How do we know that the number 808 means anything? We don't. We just read it in Google and we think, yes, that means that I'm about to manifest abundance and I'm about to connect with long-held professional goals, so I better connect with my spiritual sense of self, my higher self, so I can bring about this divine purpose for me and make money doing it. We don't know the inherent meaning, do we? It's the meaning we give to it. And how do we give it meaning? I'm so seeing 808, bam, it's there. And then our response comes, I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky that abundance flows to me and through me in every moment. And it might feel fake at first. And the ego will then come in and say, but you're lying to yourself, Jamie. You're lying to yourself. All you know is bad things. Bad things keep happening. And it's in that response, that negative response, that we then attract more bad things because we feel bad vibrationally. This is the clearest way I've ever said it, and I hope this video helps, you know, and because this stuff, if you do what I say, will change your life and your bank balance. Trust me, it's doing that for me. I hope this video helps. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for being here, guys. I couldn't do this without you, and have a really, really lovely day.